get down to who salami, cylindrical, silly willy, salami pastrami, beef stroganoff, whatever you want me to call them, the Reuben sandwich. Soleimani was an evil terrorist. Soleimani was a terrorist, though. Soleimani was an evil terrorist, okay? I can't believe it. If anybody has any doubt in their mind that they are lying to themselves, they need a different narrative to be true, because they hate Donald Trump so much, they hate the president so much, that they are willing to praise a terrorist over supporting their own country. Soleimani was an evil terrorist who killed hundreds of Americans, hundreds of Syrians. He created and sustained proxies in Lebanon, Yemen, Syria, Iraq, Iran, and these sovereign nations were destabilized. He oppressed and slaughtered the Syrian people. In Iraq, the violence expanded Iranian influence, and he expanded and paved the way for ISIS. ISIS being strongly destroyed, Soleimani wanted to control the Iraqi people. The Iraqi people protested their corrupt government, but not only their corrupt government, but Iranian influence in their government. Iran and its proxies violently attacked these peaceful protesters. So now that I've gone over who Salisbury steak really is, let's go over what led up to the death of Soleimani. In May, Iran attacks oil tanker in the Gulf. June, Iran shoots down U.S. drone over international waters. July, Iran seizes British oil tankers. September, Iran attacks Saudi state oil. December, Iran attacks U.S. military base in Iraq. In Iraq, Iran went into Iraq to attack a U.S. military base. And then, later on, Iran storms U.S. embassy in Baghdad, which is the capital of Iraq. So in January, the very beginning of January 2020, the U.S. airstrikes Baghdad, killing terrorist Soleimani. So now the news media and Democrats and stupid public figures are now blaming Trump for something that was caused by the Iranians and Soleimani himself, because Soleimani has done terrorist attacks all across the Middle East. He was he was, before he died, the #1 terrorist that we wanted gone, and he's gone. So I, of course, see retaliation and protecting the people who were in the embassy as okay. Like, obviously, it was legitimate. There was reason and probable cause to go in there. But still, people in the media hate this president so much that they are willing to side with Iran, a foreign government, over their own country because of how much disdain they hold for who is in office right now. So now, as useless as she is, loose teeth, lazy-eyed Nancy Pelosi wants to try and restrict the president's power on retaliating like this. Are you kidding me? You're trying to prevent a U.S. president from being able to retaliate against an attack in a foreign country? Are you kidding me? Once again, Nancy Pelosi puts politics over her country.
You're saying that the president did not need authorization initially and still does not need any authorization from Congress on Libya?
Yes. I was informed of this attack that the administration took responsibility for it over the weekend. I said, why did you not consult with Congress? Well, we held it in closely. We held it in closely. No, you have a responsibility to consult with Congress.
Trump does not have, let me make it clear, does not have the authority to go to war with Iran without congressional authorization.
My bill enumerates 5 instances where the president may use force. First, to repel without congressional authority at the outset.
Without working with Congress, it is not optional. It is not an optional part of his job.
First, to repel attack on U.S. territory or U.S. forces. Second, to deal with urgent situations threatening supreme U.S. interest, i.e. the Cuban Missile Crisis. 3, to extricate imperiled U.S. citizens. 4, to forestall or retaliate against specific acts of terrorism. 5, to defend against substantial threats to international sea lanes or airspace.
And the president wasn't only right in making this call and retaliating and preventing another Benghazi from happening, like Hillary Clinton let happen. Hillary Clinton, by the way, decided to say, I would have waited. We know, Hillary, there's people dead that prove that you would have waited. Because Benghazi happened. We all know that. That is literally the worst time she should ever speak up. Never speak up over something like that. You know that you shouldn't do that. You, of all people, should never give advice on waiting. Do you know why? Because there are people dead because of you. So not only was he in the right in the call that he made, but he has the right to do that. You don't need Nancy Pelosi's permission to go and retaliate against someone attacking a U.S. embassy. We don't need Nancy Pelosi telling the president that he's not allowed to use the powers of office to retaliate against an evil foreign nation trying to murder Americans. Okay? Is this crazy or what? What is with this anti-Americanism? And then you have these dumb celebrities that one apologized to Iran saying, I'm so sorry, he's a dictator. No, he's not. If he was a dictator, you wouldn't be able to speak and you'd be dead. And you know why? Because dictators don't allow people to have free speech. Acts like he's such a fascist. The first thing to go with fascism is freedom of speech. So Iran shot another 2 warheads recently at another U.S. military base. Luckily, nobody was hit. Originally, people thought that they were just trying to flex, and we thought, oh, they weren't really trying to hit us. They were just trying to send a message. But we found out that they were intending to kill U.S. military, but the technology that the U.S. has immediately prevented it from happening. So Trump spoke today. He said, if they're willing to stand back and stand down, that we are as well, and that we will not obliterate them off of the face of the planet. Because honestly, in 5 seconds, they'd be gone. Obviously, they would not be able to do what we would be able to do to them. The U.S. is the biggest, strongest military that there is. Obviously. And we all know that. Okay, and anybody who says otherwise, you know that they're full of it. You know they don't even believe what they're saying. So yeah, I just thought that I'd give my 2 cents because the media is ridiculous. Nobody should, at this point, trust the media at all because it's so commonly false that it's ridiculous. CNN, MSNBC, ABC, all right. Well, thank you. God bless. Leave your name and number after the beep. Oh, also, if you side with Iran over the United States, you are a traitor to the nation. Thank you.
And I ran so far away. I just ran, I ran all night and day.